me what you see when you look at me. Do you see another brother lost in these streets looking for his soul?
Trying to find my soul.
Or do you see another brother searching for lost souls in these streets? A street soldier.
Street soldier.
Here to help you get that chip off your shoulder, warm your colder days and sober your drunken ways, and find a way to help you get over these hurdles placed in our path. And this is not meant to amuse you. This is for all those who have questions but are afraid to ask.
I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. No. When times get hard, you lose your way. Open your mind and hear what I say.
This is a message for the hard and the soft. To those who tune in weekly and to those who keep an eye out for 8 p.m. on Sundays and turn their radios off. The truth hurts. The cloth has been pulled. We're walking around half dead. Use this show as your IV. Alive and Free is a new movement. We've achieved self-destruction. A street soldier promotes self-improvement.
Streets couldn't be no colder, so I gotta be a soldier. It shouldn't be this hard for me. Even when it seems so hopeless, I gotta keep my focus. I'm glad to be alive and free, yeah. Streets couldn't be no colder, so I gotta be a soldier. It shouldn't be this hard for me. Even when it seems so hopeless, I gotta keep my focus. I'm glad to be alive and free, yeah.
Good evening, street soldiers. This is Lady Estelle and the Street Soldier crew, and we are back to spend another Sunday evening with you. Your host this evening is also glad to see that you are still with us, healthy, alive, and free. Your host, Dr. Joseph E. Marshall Jr.
Good evening, Street Soldiers, Alive and Free Radio, right here, back on KMEL 106 FM and Facebook.com/Stay Alive and Free. I say that right now?
You did it.
I did. Took a few weeks of practice, but I'm getting it down. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us once again as we wrap up Black History Month. Been a great month. Been a busy month. A very, always, yeah. Look, it's just been busy. It's been like events this past weekend. Great events this past weekend. And as I got to give you a rundown on the two that we have been talking about so much right here on Street Soldiers. But let me check how everybody is. Mike, you doing good?
I'm
doing
great.
Well,
I'm living, working, and chilling.
Working and chilling.
Living, working, and chilling.
Living, working, and chilling.
They ask you how you doing? Living, working, and chilling. Yeah.
Well, the chilling part is easy because it's been so cold. Oh my goodness.
When it's snowing in the
I've
Bay
been so
Area, you
chilling
know it's
until
cold.
I can't take it. I'm ready to do something different.
I understand that.
Living, working, and chilling. All right. I don't think that's going to change when it gets hot. He's still probably going to be saying living,
Yes, sir.
working, and chilling.
Yes, sir.
So how you doing? You good?
Oh, everything is good. Got some snow out here. Been a little snow in the Bay Area, so that's pretty cool.
Where
Don't
snow?
get to see
Where?
that very
I
often.
ain't seen no snow.
It was snowing on the Bay Bridge. Snow on the Bay Bridge.
No snow on the baby.
Yes, it was, sir.
For real? For real?
For real.
You got pictures?
I have posted it on my blog page.
Okay.
Snowball, Berkeley Hills.
Cameo.com, keyword film on mic.
Wow. Snow on the baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it didn't stop the Black Joy Parade today. Put a little damper on it, but didn't put a stop to it. We were out there and, it was nice. Look, the Black Joy Parade is really special.
Black Joy might be the one thing that's never been stopped.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, we keep finding ways to be joyful.
Yeah,
We
we would have liked to have been blessed with a sunshine day as it had in the past, but it wasn't. But the folks were out there lined up, and I marched as part of the Divine Nine, the Black fraternal and sorority organizations, right in the front, and all the other Greeks organizations came behind me. Lady E, it was great. I got to
Wonderful.
say, DST did their thing, but then so did everybody else. So it was very nice. And they had the black fire, they had the
What
fire
that's
fighters.
supposed to mean?
What?
What is that supposed to mean?
What?
You got a Lady Estella's sorority?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of got out your sorority.
No, I said they did well.
Oh, okay, got you.
You know, I said so did everybody else. I gave love to everybody.
That's true.
Why are you trying to make?
I know I do.
Don't do that, man.
I'm sorry.
We get, you know, we a team here. Don't be trying
That
to.
was my bad, Dr. Marshall.
The firefighters were there, the car clubs were there. You know, it was nice. It was really, 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 really nice. I want to thank the, you know, it was kicked off with a prayer,
Mhm.
and the founder.
They had the Black Cowboys out there.
I didn't see him. But I was
Probably
told
the
that they're going to
parade,
be
huh?
there. Yeah, I hope they're all
Yeah.
everybody was part of the parade. And you know, I don't know how
Oh,
long
yeah.
people stayed because it was raining.
Right.
But congratulations on this. I think you said the sixth annual Black Joy Parade, right? Wonderful. Okay. And then yesterday, the Best of the Bay Step Show competition at McClimas High School.
I heard about that.
Oh man, did you really? It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was.
Yeah.
I lady, you can't say no. You were a judge once again. You look
Yeah.
judging.
It was good. It was good. I loved it. I loved it. And they played my favorite song first.
Well, you got to say what it is now.
Oh, what's
Last
the
time
name?
that I checked.
That's it.
You know, I was thinking more like Frankie Beverly before I let
Well,
go.
I
but
mean,
okay.
listen, I have a lot of number ones. I'm one of those that has a whole bunch of number ones. And that is another one of my number ones. Nipsey Hussle popped on and I popped up. I
He
was like,
popped up too. I was like 15 rows back. Bam! There she was jumping up.
There you go, ladies.
yes.
Hey, Doc. On a serious note, Doc, you see that they convicted the brother who shot and killed Nipsey.
Gave him
That's
60
true.
years.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, man. That's still
It's-
certain things still pain you for a long
Yeah.
time. And see Nipsey go on some. Can I say? I won't say the word. I can say the initials, right? Some BS. Can I say that?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
you knew what you meant.
Was just horrible, man, horrible. And you know, it's 60 years, brother. You took out a good one.
I
You took
don't
out a great
understand.
one.
It's terrible.
Yeah, right.
Terrible.
But the step show itself was wonderful. I got to congratulate the teams that were there.
Did they have a dad event where the dads did something?
They
Yes.
do, yes.
They did, right? Okay,
Yes, they
that's what I
did.
said. I seen that.
Yeah,
They was showing out.
he
The
got
dads
some
was
nice
even
little
showing
things,
out.
and they had everybody you grab your mom, come on up, right? Grab your mom and
And then the dads were down there with their kids.
dads were
dancing
there,
with-
yeah.
Dad start breakdancing.
wasn't no joke though. He was like he was hurting me, man. I can see
It was good.
he
It was great.
he was all
He
off.
was twerking.
Well,
We got to get you to twerk one time.
no,
No, we don't need that.
no, I don't need that. And forget the rest of y'all.
It's
don't
only
need that.
because he just can't.
All of the above. Okay. Keno Carson, once again, a wonderful job. Teams from a team from Nevada and Las Vegas, and
Las
Texas,
Vegas,
and
Seattle,
Seattle, and
Garland,
I
Texas.
the best kept
West
secret.
Coast madness.
Best kept secret in the Bay.
Oh, my
Best of the Bay
goodness, it
Step
was
Show.
just
Yes,
great.
sir.
Do they pick a winner? Or is
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
They had a middle school winner, which ended up being the team from Seattle.
Wow.
Which was a cast of like Lady Easton,
Thousands.
thousands. I mean, there was a whole bunch of little man. Look, them kids got
They were little
energy.
kids.
Okay, them kids couldn't stop jumping. Did you have that kind of energy? I guess all little kids have that energy. But they won. They were
Yeah, my
amazing.
son got that energy right now.
Yeah, that kind of energy. That's what they had. Not only when they was on stage doing their routine, but when they was in the audience
All the time.
all the time, all the time, all the time.
They
And then,
still jumping up and down.
oh man, look. And then
But
they,
I just gotta say something about the team that had the canes. Mike, they had canes,
Mhm.
like the Kappa canes.
Yes.
And they had the canes moving, and one of the girls walked right down through those moving canes. That's
Oh,
right.
that's pretty
I
cool.
almost had
Oh,
to,
that's fresh.
and right on my right was the Kappa judge,
Okay.
and he was like, "Whoa!"
He was impressed.
He
huh?
was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, the King.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
It was
It was great.
They're blindfolded.
When they did their routine with their blindfolds,
and
they-
moved and moved
and they moved
and they moved.
and they transitioned with their eyes with no
That's pretty
vision.
cool.
I told you these young people, they get a whole bunch of grief. I ain't lying. It was
Got you.
and the team from Seattle, from Texas, won the high school competition. I think
Okay.
they won $1,500. It was nice. It was very close, and I got to say I love the team from South Central. Them girls were no joke.
They were fabulous.
Doc.
They finished second.
Doc and Lady E.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You know what they say is that stepping is a whole nother thing down south. That they say the California people, we can't keep up with it just because we don't have that tradition as strong. Did you see that over the weekend? Was it evenly matched, or did the South, they just come with a different level?
No. It was like I'm gonna tell you how close it was. Both of the judging ended up being 1 point and 2 points apart. That's how close it was.
Oh
2
wow!
points. It could have swung either way. It was that close, and so that's why people. It was. Yeah, Lady E.
Yeah.
Final words on.
Oh yeah,
sex
no,
competition?
it was just a great day. It was just a great day. And
It's a very black weekend out here, huh?
yeah, Keno and everyone who works with him it's just marvelous. Coach Henry, everybody, it's just wonderful. I enjoy it. I look forward to it.
Wonderful way to wake up, wrap up, Black History Month. And that's going to lead us into, I got to say this. Before I go into tonight's topic, because I got a special celebration tonight, a very, 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 very special celebration tonight. Black History Month has been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I want to make a statement, and please, folks, don't take this, I'm not trying to talk about nobody and nothing like that. There have been wonderful events celebrating Black history. In fact, we just mentioned 2 of them this weekend, and there were others this weekend all over the Bay, probably all over America. I just want to make sure that, as you have attended events, you have also learned something. I just think that's so important. Celebrating Black History Month, not only celebrating Black history, but it's also to learn Black history. And I'm hoping for every event that you attended, you also learned something that you didn't know before. Because, that's why, Carter G. Woodson put the whole thing together back in 1926. And I know we have enjoyed, Lady E, teaching the young people at Alive and Free Omega Boys Club, something that they didn't know before when it comes to Black history. And in particular, we spent a lot of time on ancient African history, which they absolutely don't know anything about. But my thought is, as they are trying to, keep you from learning your history, and whether it be a DeSantis in Florida or any of these other politicians or just people in general, I think it would behoove all of us to know what they're trying to keep us from learning. So, I just urge you, grab a book, continue your learning, the events, go to them. But I think it would be a tragedy if you just went to the events and didn't learn anything that you didn't know before, because you got to know what we're concerned, what it's all about. You got to know. I remember a week before we went over the whole lift every voice and thing with the young people, and maybe you learn the second verse, maybe you finally learn the first verse, because I know adults that don't know the first verse. So I will throw in a couple of books as we exit Black History Month. That first, I always say anything by Malcolm, the autobiography of Malcolm X on Afro-American history, small book, 88 pages, it'll get you stoked, believe me. And I always say Malcolm because his awakening to history and the study of history that he knew nothing about was so impactful in his life. I'll throw out another one.
Sorry, you mentioned Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I just had to say, I think it's 58 years ago this week that he was taken from us at the Audubon Ballroom. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
And his family is filing a lawsuit against the CIA, the FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I want to keep my eyes on that. Just don't mean to interrupt. Just wanted to let people know about that.
Yeah, and there's actually a great series on Netflix called Who Killed Malcolm X, 6-part series, which is actually amazing. Don't know it's definitive, but it certainly goes into depth. Another book, one, especially if you want to know something about African history, From the Browder File by Tony Browder. Jot it down.
Good book.
I'm telling you, in its essays, right? It's like, what, but maybe 9 or 10 essays in the book. Fabulous. From the Browder File. And then if you're not afraid of big books, if you want to get into African American history, I highly recommend The Warmth of Other Suns. The Warmth of Other Suns by the one and only, how can I forget her name? Isabel
That's a big book.
Wilkerson.
Isabel Wilkerson. Yeah,
Isabel
That's a
Wilkerson.
big book.
yeah, but don't tell nobody it's big. Just tell them it's a book with,
No, I mean, that's you gonna read. You really gonna read.
and
that
and,
book.
and you won't want to stop reading that book. You when it's over, you're gonna be upset. But the great migration of Black Americans from the South, and we go back, we all trace we somewhere down there to the North, the Midwest, and the West is just a fabulous story. So The Warmth of Other Suns. Those are 3 I recommend.
It's about the
Plenty of
diaspora.
others. It's about, this one is about,
About the Great
where-
Migration.
where's your family from originally?
I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But it's
Yeah.
in America,
Yeah, it's America. It's America.
Texas,
Yeah, right.
Louisiana, and
Right.
Mississippi.
All right. So they all had it's all of our stories.
Got
Like
you.
my family it's Mississippi and Tennessee to St. Louis to Missouri to California, right?
Got you.
And she picks 3 families, and one from Louisiana, one from Florida, and one from, where's the other one? Mississippi, I think. But when you read it, it's just like you. It's just like your family. So, and the history in the book is amazing.
Got you.
Isabel Wilkerson, also the author of Caste, is maybe one of the greatest writers that ever lived.
Wow.
She's unbelievable. All right, those are my 3. You got one you want to throw in, lady? We good.
No, those are good.
Okay. All right.
And I say, if you don't read, if you're afraid of big books, like Doc said, if you like watching TV, hey, get
Oh.
that 1619 project.
Yes, on
Hulu.
Hulu. Yes.
That's-
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good watch.
She gonna make me get. I don't have Hulu. Do you have Hulu?
Yeah, I got it just on.
I'm gonna have to get it just to watch 1619 Project.
There
yeah.
you go.
All right. Okay. Okay. Tonight's show is a Black History show, believe it or not, because it was 36 years ago during Black History Month on this day, February 26, 1987. Whew. But when I tell the kids that, man, well,
You left out the 100. 1900.
100. Oh yeah, I don't say the 100. 1987. that Jack and I made our own history by founding the Omega Boys Club, now called Live and Free Omega
Ooh,
Boys Club. You were there. And I'm not a big person on birthdays, my own, because they keep coming and moving. But my certain thing in the spirit of you never know what's promised, right? When you get to be in existence for 36 years doing this work is just amazing. And it achieved a lot. I don't know if has Jack called in?
Yes,
yet?
he's in.
Oh, he's here. Okay. It's just been an unbelievable ride. And Jack, you there? Let me hear you.
Yeah, I'm here. Happy birthday.
What's
Hey,
up, my
Jack.
brother? What's up, man? Me and you. And Jack, I gotta say this. At the parade today, someone came up, and half the time I can't remember where I saw these people, but they know, yeah, I haven't seen you in forever. And you was a McAtee, blah, blah. She said, "What are you doing now?" I said, I'm doing Street Soldiers on radio. I'm doing, Omega Boys Club. I'm doing everything I was doing before. You still doing that for real? Oh man, you don't
I
never
know,
quit.
I know.
Yeah. And I said, in fact, today, is the birthday of the club. She said, that's amazing. I said, Jack and I are gonna be on the show. I said, Jack, is Jack still doing that too? So
Yeah. Surprised you didn't say I was dead. I mean, that's the next step.
Oh man.
Jack, don't even start that.
So,
Okay.
Jack, we can't take these years, these birthdays for granted. We gotta, because you and I, we just, for us, it was making it from Tuesday to Tuesday, right? And
Right.
to be able to put together now 36 years of this, is just incredible. And one thing you've always said is make your own history. Make your own history.
That's
Make
right.
your own history. And you got to tell
It's
the
commitment.
yeah, that's the word. It's commitment. And while I bring in some of the guests that we're gonna have, because I rounded up a few folks. Tell that little story about how, because I forget until you say it, how you were getting ready to leave and go back to LA and you wasn't sure, and then we hit you up with this, but he and I met because we were both at then the middle school, Potrero Hill Middle School, and we used to sit and chop it up about kids all the time. But yeah, just talk about when I brought that idea to you, Jack, and how maybe got you to stay in the Bay.
Well, at the time, we probably were the only two people in the whole faculty and the whole staff that really understood that something was wrong here. That, youngsters were getting into trouble. The advent of crack cocaine just escalated the issues of abandonment and no hope. And, a city that sometimes the public didn't really see what was hidden in the city of St. Francisco, and racism that exists in a lot of the different aspects of power. But anyway, the doc and I would always, he was a math teacher. I was roaming around as a counselor, hall guard, and we always connected every day because we had something in common. We were watching this horrible demise of the young men, and something was wrong and something had to be done. And we talked about it, for many months, just, discussed it, exchanged unfortunate information a lot of the time. And I have to say this part, and this is a part I don't think I've really ever focused on, but aside from the fact that I was getting, my mother was ill in LA, and there was a bunch of things. I was sort of thinking of going to Los Angeles, and I had done a lot in the school district. I coached and I counseled, and it was just time that I needed to do the same work because I was committed, definitely. But I had to maybe change the venue and sick of the school system. And at the same time, one morning, Doc just said to me, "You want to do something about it?" And of course, well, we all want to do something about it. He said, "But there's one thing that you have to do," even though he knew I was involved with understanding the word commitment. But he still said, "This is something new and you have to be committed to doing it." Of course, that kind of scared me because, even though, I was thinking of maybe going somewhere else, that still, when that came on, I was tired of the commitment I already made. And he said that, "You're going to have to make a commitment." So I really had some restless nights about that, do I really want to commit myself to something else? And I said yes. And here we are.
And the rest is history, literally history. And so a lot has been accomplished, first of all, Jack, the 262, soon to be 269 college graduates. That's just astounding.
Yeah.
And the numbers keep
Amazing.
growing. It is, we remember the first, Cassandra Brown from San Francisco State, and then Joe Thomas was the first male from Morris Brown. And, we've been pretty much on the hook financially for all of these young people.
Mm-hmm.
Made that work. 50 currently in college, 70 who have college degrees, have graduate degrees, and a whole bunch of stuff that's happened to them. All these, we've been around the world. Your work in the, in the institutions, probably $9.5 million that we're giving away in scholarship money. That is crazy.
Wow.
I just started adding up, and it was like,
Wow.
damn, whoa.
Wow.
For a couple of broke teachers, that's pretty good, huh, Jack?
We didn't start with any big grants. We started with nothing.
Nothing
Yeah.
but a commitment to the young people to, somehow make it happen. And replication programs in cities around the United States and around the world. A lot of things that happen. The book right here, Street Soldier,
That's
tons
right.
of awards. But
Bonnie Wheeler's book.
yeah. But the heart of it has always been the same thing it is now. Here it is 36 years later, is headquarters has been putting those young people in a room and let's try and save their lives. Because it's always been about alive and free. We call it violence prevention at the time, Mike. It's always about keeping them alive, keeping them free. That was our goal. Education was the icing on the cake, but that was all we wanted to do. And every year goes by, they get older and we're happier. So Jack, we got a few visitors here. I just pulled some names out of a hat and started texting. I said, who can we celebrate this with? And let's bring them in. Jack, you can't see them, but I will tell you who they are. And of course, when they come in, the first one who's going to say something is Lady Estelle, because she's going to say, who's here? Look who's here. So
that's one great teacher there.
Yeah. I said, so last year when we did
Jack.
this, Mike, we did it with the staff. It's been all these years from from Ms. Norris to all the teachers, all the people who have been here in the past, our current staff, even my accountant we brought in, a mom. This year I said, let's do it with some of these Omegas who are now old, which is good because that was our goal, to get them to be old. And so the fact that they're here means they are alive and free. They are not in jail, obviously, because we wouldn't have been able to have a conversation with them if we could. So we got a few that we're bringing in here, and I'm gonna let Lady Estelle tell you who is here so far. You just want to say who you see. You get to, as they come in, you get to say
Well,
hi.
I see everybody. I see Zach D. Oh my goodness, Zach! I'm gonna tell you what. When Zach D, did he tell you what I said? Unmute and talk to me. You're on mute, baby.
No, he didn't tell me.
I can't hear him.
Oh, my bad. Hold
No,
on.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. No, he didn't tell me anything.
Well, when he walked in the door, I was right in the middle of class. I said, Zach D, oh my goodness sakes. He walked in the door right in the classroom. Wait a minute, hold on. It was so wonderful. And he looked at me because he didn't know how it was. I'm sorry, he wants me to keep going. Give me just a second because I have to do this.
Because they don't know who you're talking about.
Okay, I'm talking about his Zach D. Jr.
That's right. Now
Okay.
you go.
Zach D. Jr., baby boy, walked in the classroom, right out of the Zoom room into the classroom, all the way from wherever you are, because you are not in California. And I just had a fit. He didn't know who I was from Peterborough, except from, I said, baby, I knew you when your mama and your daddy got married. He said, for real? Anyway, it was just wonderful. Llewellyn, all the way from South Africa.
Here's the reason he's here.
We
Yes.
have
Hey.
Llewellyn, so good to see you.
Who else
Is
you
this-
see?
I see Dana. I see Saul. I see there's Vanita. There's Malik. Is that? No, wait a minute. Is this Austin? Oh my
You
goodness.
see Dame right there.
That's
Go
me.
on your
I
glasses.
see- There's Vanita. And I can't, I can't. Is that Jair? Hey, baby. And there's Shantae. Is that Dr. Reggie? And who is this? This is Dr. Who? Dr. Kayla. Oh my goodness.
So-
It's so good to see all of you.
Obviously there are hundreds I could have pulled from, right? And I just got to texting folks, and when I got enough, I stopped. But what I wanted to do, Jack, is, this is 36 years. That's almost 4 decades. So I was trying to get like a representative from, every 10 years,
Okay.
some from the beginning, one who is currently in college. Jared, you holding that down for us? And then, it was originally, Jack, and this was originally Omega Boys Club. And our intention was to work with young men, but Siobhan Hunter, who probably listening and watching and saying, why I ain't over there? Not spoiled it, came up and said, I want to be there too. So maybe after 3 weeks, Jack, 4 weeks, became boys and girls, young men and young women, and it's been that way ever since. And these are just a small representative, Mike, of young people that have come through the club. And so we just gonna reminisce and celebrate and praise God that we still here after 36 years, and they're still, more importantly. Jack, did you hear the names that are on the screen? Because you can't see them.
Yeah, no, I heard the names, and I mean, just as Zachary Donald, he was a young man who came in with a purpose. He wanted to get educated. He did. He was talked a lot, you know what I'm saying? But the great thing is that he backed up his talk.
Yeah.
He was really backed up his talk.
Yeah.
And now we have the junior, I mean, his son. So now we're not only doing the veterans, but we're doing their sons. And we'll be around long enough to do the grandsons.
Oh Lord, that's
Believe that,
That's
believe
been
that.
around, Jack.
Yeah,
You-
exactly. Believe that.
woo. All right, we have had
Is that Enoch?
we got folks popping in. You see Shantae over there?
I saw
You see
Shantae.
Shantae over there? So look, thank all of you for joining us from near and from far. Just to say a little happy birthday. You are representing what Jack likes to say, the thousands who have walked through those doors at the club, and you have inspired. I always call you know, what we do here in San Francisco as headquarters for what has now become the Alive and Free movement. And we developed the Alive and Free prescription and the trainings we do, and you know, the countries we've been able to visit, all was because all of you gave us a chance to I like to say, just get in your lives. We just boom, jumped in and inserted ourselves in your lives, and you let us do it. And you could probably tell the world why. But just seeing all of you is our reward. It really is. Just seeing you alive, seeing you free. That was the goal.
Let's hear from some of them.
I was going to do that.
There you go.
So since Zach is now, Zach is great. Isn't it hard?
I just can't get over it. But then so am I.
Well, but you would. Zach was young.
I know.
Wow.
Zach,
Is
D, we're
Zach
gonna,
one
So
of your
was
first?
I.
we're gonna start with you, Zach.
He's one of your first.
He'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, Zach D, you can kick it off and just say what it was, reminisce a little bit, and why you came and why you stayed and what you got out of it. Go ahead. Where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
He gone.
Gone.
Okay.
I think he might be they gotta go with Zach. He might be the senior one in
What about Dr. Daniels?
well, I'm gonna get to Dr. Daniel. I'm saving Dr. Daniel.
Oh, okay.
I'm saving him.
There's Zach. Okay.
We got Zach D. You back? All right, sir. Happy birthday.
Now he popped out again. There he is. Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry. I was trying to get the unmute on and then I pushed too many buttons.
Happy birthday, man.
Takes a minute.
Wonderful
Hey,
to see
happy
you, brother.
birthday,
Love you,
happy
man.
birthday. Hey,
Yes, sir.
hey. Yeah, I'm a
Amazing, isn't it?
Silverado now. I was working my pro a little bit. Yeah. So I remember saying, I remember thinking or feeling like I can't wait till I get to the point in my life where I've been with the Mega Boys Club for more years in my life than I haven't been. And at 53 years young, I've been with the Mega Boys Club for more years in my life than I haven't been. And man, my son, 16 be 17 years old next month or in April, is indicative of, man, the journey that we've had together.
Man, I remember all of you. Obviously, I remember the day all of you came. You know, and Jack and I are probably I was the only ones that seen everybody that's walked through those doors. But man, I just got to say, man, I got memories of every one of you going off to school. But Zach, when you went to Grambling, man, that was like, and I gotta tell you, Mike, you'll notice when I told him that, you know, I would help him not only get into college, but help him get some money to go to college. That was like, yeah, right. Venus Winston told me, oh man, come on, you playing, right? No. I said, no, I'm really trying, right? They said she was skeptical as hell, but I don't, you know, that was just, I don't know why I said it, but seeing you go off and in those years that you spent down there, and what brought you to the club in the first place? I think I know, but I want you to say.
Well, I am most unique well, maybe not, but I'm one who admits I came to the Mega Boys Club because my homeboy was telling me about all the girls that was there. And I was like, man, I want to see. and I came and they was there. Right? Like, man, I was like, yeah. But the information and the message is really what resonated more than the beautiful girls that young girls, I could say that, that were there. And
Yeah, right.
man, no,
I'm
no,
joking. I'm joking.
seriously. Actually, in all honesty, now I never lost sight of the women, but that was not the main focal point.
Got
in
you.
all honesty, so yeah. It was that in there, but again, it was the beautiful women that drew me there, and it was the message and the information that kept me there for the rest of my life.
Zach, we're going to, I want to set the stage, and I'm gonna bring somebody else in to help with what it was like back in those early days. So I think there he is. You see the other one? Just gonna bring this one in right there. See him, Lady Estelle? Charles Robinson.
Charlie,
See Rob, all the way from where are you in Tennessee? Where are you in Tennessee? Nashville, right?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Happy birthday, man. What
Happy birthday, Charles.
Yeah, what's up, Jack?
Yeah.
what's your memories from those early days?
Oh man, going home, eating at the joint in Oakland, down Jack London Square. So,
I used to drive him home and we could go eat.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was definitely and just remember coming in when Paul, Dre, Corey, and Zach came up there the day I was supposed to get out of YA, and they gave me 6 more months, man, and I was about to blow my top. So yeah.
It's a true story. Yeah. Tell folks that, because you never know how the flow of the spirit, as Jack calls it, the spirit works. That night, we just, the members from the club just happened to show up. But tell that story, because that is that.
I mean, I had been in YA for going on 4 years. Did some mischievous activities, and the day I was supposed to get out, they gave me 6 months.
Wow.
Extra. And Zach, Corey, Paul Bowser, and Dre came in and was like, they didn't even know that I was supposed to get out. They was just, hey, we're here, come check us out, get it together, and just a word of encouragement. I ended up going to, I think it was Corey after the thing, and was like, look, man, I'm supposed to get out today. And you guys really gave me something different, because I was really about to kick it off in here.
Wow.
So
got out. Coach brought him over to. Did Coach bring you to the club?
Coach did bring me to the club.
Oh, I remember. So I remember that day, particularly in YA, and remember telling you, like, man, understand you put yourself in that position for somebody else to make decisions for you,
Yeah.
And then like, so because if you made somebody else, you put yourself in the position for somebody to make choices for you, they decide if I let you out and you make the wrong decisions, somebody else is gonna get killed or go back to jail. So why not just push your buttons now and see what happened while you in jail already? Like, it's just that, and Dre and the different messages, and it really resonated with the brother. And I remember 6-7 months later, he came to the club. He was like, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No." He was like, "Man, like, y'all saved my life." Like, what? And when he said who he was, I remember instantly. I remember it. And man,
What year was this?
Been lockstep from that
Oh,
day.
man. That was
What year?
1998.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Zach, all of you, but particularly Zach and Joe, I was doing a speech to some group, and they asked, how do you change somebody's mindset, or when they thinking, and I just said, we just tell them the truth. And that's exactly what you told him. That was the truth. And was it saying the truth will set you
Free.
Make you free, yeah.
There he is. Yeah, how old are you now? How old are you now, Charles?
I am 43 years old.
Yeah. Did you think you was gonna get to be 43?
I didn't think I was gonna make it to 21.
Oh, man.
But you always, but it was a matter that you always kept it real, and I'm really proud of you because
Yeah,
look
you
what you've accomplished. You know, you've come a long way. You still got a long way to go, but we all do. But you know, you believed and you felt the truth, and you heard and sensed the real.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, man. And his kids, we'll get to his kids. Like, you want to hear? Let's give you one. Let's do. Why don't you do Dr. Regis?
Kayla.
Why don't you do Dr. Regis?
All right, Dr. Regis.
Dr.
So
Regis.
tell us.
You see, she put Dr. Regis. She didn't put Kayla Regis. She put Dr. Regis, which is exactly what you're supposed to do when you do work that hard to get them letters.
Oh, that's right. Let us know, honey. So tell us about your journey to and through Omega.
Happy birthday, Omega family.
Happy birthday,
Especially
Kayla.
something
Happy
significant.
birthday.
That significant moment for you at Omega.
The significant moment for me at Omega. Ah, Mrs. Stell, I feel like this was a setup by Dr. Marshall for you to get me.
No, not me.
Okay. She already know what I'm gonna say. So
Well, how did you get there, first of all? What was your reason for coming?
my mom is an Omega grad, and maybe like my sophomore year of high school, she had talked to me about going, and so next thing I know, I was going. I didn't have a choice. So yes, then I ended up there. So my significant moment after I was voluntold to go, I ended up sitting there and we were watching a video, as we do sometimes during class, and then we pretty much dissect it and we have conversations and discussions about it, and how it resonates with you. And whatever film we were watching was talking about, young women being a commodity, and saying, Mrs. Stell was like, you are not a commodity, you are not to be bought or sold. And we all started talking about just like what that related to. And I think for me, it related to a relationship that I had been in. Yes, I was young, but I was in that high school relationship. And it was not good. Nevertheless, I ended up kind of just talking through what that looked like in Omega Boys Club and feeling comfortable enough to share it. It's probably not something that you would like go home and tell your parents about, but when you doing good, you don't want to be talking to your parents about the wrong stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. And so it was a comfortable space. And I think in that moment for me, I knew this is more than just me coming to Omega to, go off to college. This is bigger than me. This is different than me. And I just remember being there thinking, you know what, when I go off and I go to school or whatnot, I need to give back to this organization. It's not an option for me not to give back to this organization because it's taught me things. It's taught me things that while your parents teach you a lot of things, I think it's different when you're in the room with your peers and they're talking about the same things that you're going through or that you're dealing with.
The lights come on, and the light definitely came on. And so I appreciate your sharing part of that story. One of the biggest parts is when we were when she said, yeah, he was just playing and he had a gun. He had a gun and he was just playing. And baby, I snapped. I said, what? Well, blah, 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 blah. Anybody who's ever been in my class knows that I'm gonna come with it. And I came with it, and bless her heart, she came back the next week. And I asked the question, so how's your boyfriend? She said, he's not my boyfriend anymore.
Yeah, we won that one.
I know that. See, you don't remember that part.
Yes, you
did.
benchmarks.
By the time I finished talking about what, In the way classic Miss Estelle, she came back. Where she said, I don't have him. I said, I know that's right. And that's why today we are looking at Dr. Regis.
Yeah.
And it hasn't, it wasn't easy.
Word.
Hey, listen, it wasn't easy for Dr. Regis. Dr. Regis went through something. And you know what? She was cute because whenever when it would get too tough, I would get a phone call. Miss Estelle, oh yes, look at her, just cracking up. I get a phone call and you know, I would be classic Miss Estelle. She's Dr. Regis today.
I need it. I got straight moms, but it's good. It was all for
And I gotta say, to be able to put your mother, Kaidi Leach, for those of and then you, is like, that's when it really gets to me. That's when it really gets to me. You know, a parent and then their child, that don't even make no sense. But Jack, I don't know about this grandchildren thing, but the children thing, yeah. So thank you, Kay. We're coming back. We want to talk about your accomplishments. The doctor, I remember you going off to Alabama State. And let me go to the infamous one. Where is he? Is he gone?
Oh no, we've got another up and coming doctor over here. Dr.
Wait, the infamous
Dana,
one. No. Hold on. Let me do this one.
Oh.
The infamous one. You, Enoch Hawkins, who cussed me out at McIntyre High School. That's right. Call me a bunch of names. Look, man, I was just trying to get lunch for the teachers meeting. And man, he's in the book. He's in the book. It's in the documentary. He called me that word I don't like. Man, he was mean to me. And what's up, V?
How you doing, man? I'm good, man. How you doing?
First, tell everybody where you are. Because to me, we have a saying called the world is bigger than the block. And those of you who've been out the country like, Zach has, I know. Tell people where you are right now.
I'm in Columbia right now.
Wow.
That's COLOMBIA, not Columbia, Missouri. What? Columbia, down there. Yeah.
He's at the Columbia Boys and Girls Club on Guerrero.
He's at the Columbia country.
Oh man.
And he sent me a picture, by the way. You sent me his picture. What was that? Was that Mardi Gras down? What was it? Carnival? What was it?
Carnival. Yeah, it's Carnival. It was Carnival.
They looked like they was having fun.
Oh yeah, it was live, man. It was good. It's really good,
Yeah. That's a long way. That's a long way from West Oakland.
Oh hell yeah. That's around Oakland.
It's Carnival. Me and Zach gonna have to get down there.
Oh, tell him.
Let's get it.
But I tell brothers, if you're gonna travel with me, you gotta be ready to go to Africa. Or you can't travel with me.
Yes,
That's why I said. That's why I'm always by myself, because people don't want to go to Africa. If you want to travel with me, you gotta be ready to go to Africa. Come to Colombia and all these places, have fun, but gotta be ready to go other places too.
His story is completely remarkable because he's gone traveled the world. And wow. I just say real quick, Eda, the places that you have been in in the land. Well, just say where you've been.
I've been all of mostly in Latin America. I've been in Mexico, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Brazil, Thailand, Rwanda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria, Zanzibar, going to Egypt for my birthday in July, most of Europe, a lot of Asia.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you, when I met him, all he knew was West Oakland. Literally. That's the truth. That's it. That's all he knew. He was afraid to come to San Francisco because he was banging with brothers from East Oakland.
What's that got to do with San Francisco?
Because we're together.
Got you. Oh, okay. I got you.
When he walked in, he saw the enemy right there in the corner.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, that was when Omega was off the hook, though, man. in the early
Like that,
90s. Yeah, I heard a young man say 98. I'm like, 98? Oh, shit, I was there 91, 92. So that was when Omega was off the hook, you know.
Hey, look, I was in Antioch last week. San Leandro the week before. I get around too, you know.
How you doing, Chad? You know, I'm going to say this, man. I love all of you guys from the bottom of my heart. I keep you guys in my thoughts and my prayers. You guys have been the most inspirational thing in my life ever. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be who I am today. That's real talk. I owe everything to Omega, and I always speak on that. Always, because Marsh will tell you, I used to hate going over there, but Marsh used to make sure I was there. And when I got there, Jack made sure I stayed. And Miss Norris and Coach, who I miss a lot.
Yeah.
It's Coach.
About Coach.
Yeah, I owe everything. Miss Stills, you've been the best. And by the way, my son is getting married soon. You know, he got his degree. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
Beautiful.
Mike, if you want to know Enoch's complete story, he has, and I'm really proud of him because not only is in the book, by the way, this book, there's not many names that are changed. Almost every name is in there is true, the actual person. Some are changed to protect the innocent, but most of them are actually. Enoch's in there, his story of our meeting, which I read all the time. And but he went further. We made a documentary called Street Soldiers, funded by the Ford Foundation, and he is the first of 3 stories in there. And so his story is on film. And I remember you used to tell me, you used to walk around, people see you on film and say, "Oh man."
Yeah.
They shown that in a lot of places.
Yeah, Marshall made me a local celebrity, man. I was like, man, I didn't know that was going to happen. I wouldn't have done it. But I'm glad I did do it, though, because I believe it helped a lot of young people at the time. And I'm pretty sure it's still helping people. Hopefully, you know, the story ain't over yet. I'm doing a lot in my life right now, so we'll see. I'm still.
I want to, one thing before we go. You said you traveled a lot of countries in Africa, and you said the one that impressed you the most at this point is?
Rwanda, by far. Rwanda is probably, I think, one of the best countries in the world, not just Africa.
Yeah.
But it's just A1.
Yeah.
It's,
that terrible bloodletting, I don't even call it a civil war, the tribal war that they had during the 90s, to see it come back and
it's an amazing story.
They did
I think it's
reconciliation.
I was going to say this before I go. I think Rwanda is an inspiration for Black Americans. If they ever just, you know, more of us go to Rwanda and see that how we can, you know, you can change and make it right through bloodshed, you know. So Rwanda to me is just, it's just got a special place in my heart. So I think Colombia too. That's one reason why I love Colombia, because I went from Pablo Escobar in the 90s to what it is today. Yeah. It's amazing. It's an amazing story.
Man, bro, what do? You traveling around so much? You get around more than me, and I work for an airline.
Well, I one thing I do is I invest my money, and I don't buy rims and shoes, and I save I do smart things with my money.
Right.
And, you know, I work for AT&T. Everybody know that, but yeah, I mean, it don't take a lot of money to travel. Travel is not expensive if you know how to set things up.
Right.
You know, first thing you have to do is just want to do it, you know? Everything else is easy.
All right, E, we gonna move on. All right, man, if you gotta go,
yes, sir.
I love you, man. All right.
Love y'all, man. Blessings.
Maybe I go to Colombia one time, go to the Carnival. I don't know, you know, I'm hard. Now, you want to do Dana? You want Dana? Go ahead. Dana, Miss Velma, what's up, Dana?
What's up, fam? Happy birthday, y'all. 36 up in the building. I'm kidding, man. You know I'm not like that.
Happy birthday.
That's already like Kwanzaa. It feels like all over again.
Happy birthday, Dana.
Yes, happy birthday, you guys. You guys all look so great. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead. How'd you get here?
Similar to Dr. Regis. I have family tied into Omega, and most of my siblings have been a part of Omega, and there was really no option. I was supposed to be the last Mohicans, which I'm still not the last of Mohicans, but it was very much told I was going to go, and that took up a lot of time and commitment, but I was so grateful to kind of be ushered into it.
Dana, some of you, I make recommendations and they tell me, no, I'm going to do what I need to do anyway. So Dana she really wanted to go to Spelman, and she didn't get into Spelman at first, and she was so hurt. And so
I was so hurt, devastated.
You were hurt, and you end up going to City College a couple of years, but she persisted, and you got into Spelman, and
Yes,
that like you and all the collegians going back and forth with you, exchanging like I do right now. Those conversations when you were at Spelman was just, and then to see you graduate, that was like.
Mrs. Still remember that day too.
Oh my goodness, standing out there in the rain trying to get into the building, almost got arrested by security. That was a mess.
That was a mess.
But I tell you what, little Dana and Miss Demetra, between those two, I was praying for the security guard.
But yeah, I'm
How are you doing with your process and becoming with your doctor work?
So I have to start again, realistically, because I had to take time off for my family. Pandemic hit and it really disrupted a lot of avenues of like foundations. Okay. So knowing that family to me is always the first and most important thing, and that kind of gets me through a lot of my trials and tribulations. Yep. I needed to take care and reset. And we're at a point where we're getting the youngest to a space of solidarity. And that's what I'm most grateful for. And so if you don't have your family, you really, it's hard to move on without a tribe that supports you. So again, I will be back starting all over again, because after certain times of lapse, you can't continue without having certain transcripts up to date. Okay. So that's the real.
Okay. You can do it.
I know I can, and I know I will.
Determination,
Dana.
And resourceful, that's you.
Dana.
Jack, can you hear us, Jack? Guess not.
We lose Jack?
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess we did. Yeah.
But what I do want to say is thank you guys, because you guys have always been a current through my life, encouraging me to be my best self, have patience, be dedicated, show up, be honest, and hold steady and firm. I keep learning one thing every time I see you, Mrs. Stell. You just told me, what you tell your grad students is that when they're going to a situation dealing with their clients, it's not about them.
Nope.
And I took that extremely to heart, so that I don't personalize things that are going around me, so I can stay focused. And Jack, you checked
about your client, not about you.
No, it's not about me. And Jack, you called me not too long ago to really get to know me better, and I appreciate that. And Doc, you've always been my father figure.
My little Dana. I mean, Dana.
What?
Thank you, baby, for real. You're my baby.
I know.
Let me go. Let's go to this one over here. See, I didn't know her as Leilani. I knew her as Monica, right? And then for years later, I found out she said, Leilani, who was Leilani, right? Who was Leilani? She said, you still call me Monica. But I adapted. I call her Leilani Ching. What's up? What's up, girl? You got to unmute. Happy birthday.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, fam.
Hey there.
I'm still having technical difficulties here. I can't even see, but okay. Hi. So good to hear everybody.
Mike, people always ask, how do you meet the young people that come to. Well, we met her on the radio.
She met her on the radio.
We met her on the radio.
On
Yeah.
KMEL?
Yeah, on KMEL.
Wow.
We go way back.
She wasn't trying to
She
win
trying
no
to win
tickets.
some Janet Jackson tickets back in the day. What was going on?
Oh, come on, watch out. No, Monica, that's the reason why we don't go by Monica. Thank you, Dr. Marshall, for relieving the government. No, no, like this family saved my life. It's different now. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Zach D, baby? But back in those days, actually, I listened to you guys on the radio, and I used to get so upset because I was really in the streets and I was slanging, and I would listen. And sometimes Dr. Marshall would make me so mad, and then I'd be like, "Who's these buses on the call? They sound so stupid." And I was like, "They just dry snitching," and I used to get so angry. Like, I can't wait till I call so I can say what the real is. And Dr. Marshall would be saying some stuff, and I'm like, he don't know. So, so I was one of them, and praise God that I can look and talk about it right now because I definitely have my freedom papers, but it wasn't like that at the time. And when I was messing with somebody, his name was Kenyatta, and his cousin went through the program, and he was like, "Look, this is when I had a son. I had my son at 16. Rolante will be 31 next month."
See.
Yeah. And so I ended up coming with him, and I remember as soon as I felt like I came home, like, you go to Jamaica, they'll say, "Welcome home," or something like that. When I went to Omega, and I was surrounded by just your peers, and you had this father and grandfatherly figure with Coach and Miss Norris and just the staff there, I put my guns down. Like, I never forgot that, because back then we used to talk about God, and you guys would talk about God like freely. Miss Norris didn't have a problem saying that, and you really didn't want to see us in that street. And for me, Cosby Show was the only thing that I knew about of what a functional family was. So it felt really good that you guys gave an opportunity. You presented something to me that I never knew about, and it saved my family. It saved me. You guys gave me rules of living. I actually soaked it up and turned my whole life around, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, and the reward is funny. This is a real crazy war, but every year that you're alive and free that's the goal. It was that simple. It's really, it's not, the college thing, if you want to do that, great. We thought this would, give you some opportunities other folks didn't have, but the really thing was just, seeing your faces, seeing you alive, you're free, seeing you become family, you having your kids and not having to do the stuff that you was doing before. All of you, it's just, and if you weren't doing that, making sure you didn't do it. So yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I hope we get Jack back on, because I want Jack to, Jack's trying to call. Okay. Lord child, I'm surprised. When you going down there with Enoch? Enoch asked you to go all the time. You can't run with Enoch?
I talked to Enoch today. He was being incognito. See, he gave up the business because he knows I travel and go to different countries too. But Enoch is over there doing his. I'd be like, "Yo, brother, let me be with But it's mostly guys' trips. I think what he does is for the fellas. You see how much weight he didn't gain. Where he at? He's over there eating good and getting treated good. He don't want us. He don't want us females, his sisters over there. I already know.
Boy, he's your boy. I know. Let me go to this man up here. Dr. Reggie Daniels. There's another doctor.
Reggie D.
Doctor.
Hey, Doc.
You did a whole show on this, brother, man. You, every time I see you, man. I met I think she said she's your cousin, right?
Which one?
She a Delta, I know that. Because she got me to buy some popcorn, because the Deltas are selling their popcorn.
Was it Kim?
Davis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Lewis' daughter. That's the first doctor in our family. That's her daughter on my dad's side.
Yeah, she said, I said, yeah. I had to buy the popcorn then, because
They charge us a little bitty bag of popcorn too. But I gave it for the cause though.
Man, Dr. Daniels, man, what a road we all you have been through.
Yeah.
Just say every time I see that doctor and every time I see you at my alma mater, University, who would have thought, right?
Man, who would have thought? I'm trying to get you back up there this semester, man. We up there till May.
Well, I'm coming.
Okay. Okay.
But your memories, man, of the club those days and
Yes. I mean, you know, Doc, like I like to think of myself kind of like as the first fruit of the adults that was affected. You know, I was already, 20 plus and had already, been incarcerated. And I ran into you guys. We ran into each other at the county jail, because a lot of stuff was going on at YGC before that. So, I remember Zach, our families go back. What's up, Zach? Our families go back, man. I mean, y'all probably don't know, but my mama used to go see Zach mama. Our mamas just wanted the best for us, man. Even when the streets was there. So she dropped me off to Grimps, but me and Zach used to spend time as kids, man, in this little room. Zach had a game room as a kid, man, with all the Atari. I mean, it's the real games though, not Atari.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, I used to love to go over their house. But Zach ain't never changed. He's the same dude, and it's appropriate that, he was one of the first fruit salads. It's so good to see you, Zach. So those are some of the early memories, Doc. I came to the club by way. So my mama was in the life, and her baby sister joined the police force. So it kind of strained the family. But however, that was my godmother, and man, I was dealing with this incarceration in this life, and she said, "Man, you got to meet this man," and she brought me to the neighbor, and I met you, Doc. Back then, we called you Joe. We called you Mr. Marshall. But that was back in the day.
Them letters.
You got them letters, man. You got them letters. So, yeah, man. So I came up, and man, I got a taste of it, and I remember all the fiery folks, man. Maceo, Marcel, Sean Richards, Denise Harry, the guy. I mean, people who were so fiery, they would talk a dude out of his pistol, like out of the game, for real, in the club. Like, it was almost like church, man. It was something to see. I've never experienced anything like it before nor after, man. I mean, really, the spirit has been with you guys, man. And I'm a witness of the fire, man. I was baptized in it, and man, I went from hustling for paper to hustling books, man. I mean, we read so many books, man. I mean, Chancellor Williams. Come on, Zach. We used to be on Fridays reading books. Come on, man. Doc.
Reggie started his own. We were doing Tuesday, and then we did Thursday, and he started his own, for lack of a better phrase, Black History reading class.
Yes.
Yeah, him. He was the one that brought him up, and I walked in, and they was doing their thing. But yeah, you and you ain't never stopped.
Never stop, Doc. Never stop. One of the things that I can't, because accountability is the key, right? So, I had got all of that training, and, I let my anger turn me back. And one of the things that I'm stubborn. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go out here and make this street stuff work. And it's a trip when you make small decisions, they project out real long. So it took me 15 years to get back, after going back out into the streets. And man, people think, I think as Black folks, we have a really distorted perspective of life expectancy. 50 years, 40 years is not old. A tree year to live to be 500 years old. My grandmama was 99. Folks be living 150. I'm just getting started. The world ain't seen, so don't write me off like that. But anyway, when you have people dying at 15, 20, 30, and it's happening constantly, you get kind of a distorted perspective. So, you get 20, 30, they talking about you, oh man, you a baby. Your brain ain't even developed till you 26. Stop playing. So, I went out there, man, and I was 40 when I decided to go back. And I tell people like this, I got more out of 7 years in doing things right and going to school than I did out of 25 years in the game. Do the math. So here we are, Doc. I appreciate you, man. Don't stop.
Well,
Hey,
you know,
Doc, I never seen a real doctor, a black doctor before in my neighborhood till I see you. I said, "Ooh, that's so sexy. That's cool. I got to do that."
I got this memory. I used to take Reggie with me. I took him to, and he knows this. I took him to LA with me.
Yes.
We took him over to Bourbon Day to speak. And you were more nervous than I thought you were, but that's not going to talk about. I'm going to talk about my dad. You know my dad. He loved Reggie, man.
Yes.
He
Yes.
loved Reggie. He said, he's such a nice young man, Joe. He's so sweet.
Yes.
Man. And he's not here now, but he is here. And man,
I love him.
The spirit.
My father is really, he used to ask me, what happened to that young man? He's like you and Venus all the time.
All the time.
Time. And what's that young lady, Venus? So, and, you know, not only for yourself, but I'm gonna say it for Pops. Much love, man.
Much love, man.
Keep teaching us there, brother.
All right, Doc.
They be looking at you like, I don't know what you do to them kids, man. They be like,
Man.
you gotta.
Doc, I give him that old school fire. I'm like, look, man, you got to care about something more than just yourself. You know, it's like, you know, in these type of, you know, universities, like, you know, where, you know, it's a private university. A lot of times folks get, you know, inundated with the books and, you know, they kind of like, ain't nobody there to tell them. So, man, I bring real people in there and I get real with them, Doc. I'd shed tears, you know, the way we used to do it old school, man. Wake up, what y'all doing? You know, I bring Jack up there, you come up there, man. We shock him back into life. Thank you, Doc. Happy birthday, man. Love you guys.
Bonita Lee Tatum. Star of
Hey,
everything.
Doc.
Is there a thing you're not on? Is there a platform you're not on?
I don't know. I'm working it out, Doc. I'm working it out.
Girl, how you get to the club? look at Bonita.
Wow. Yes. I came to the club. It was 1997. I remember so vividly. I was 15 and it was my brother and his lovely wife, Chris and Nneka, that Dr. Chris and Dr. Nneka Harrison. They brought me to the club. And as everyone else said tonight, I can echo, it definitely changed my life. There's so much I could say. And I thought about, wow, just being a part of the club for that many years and being a part of this family has definitely had an impact on me. And as a result, an impact on community, because the more we know, the more we owe. And that is something that I definitely live by. And I do my best to be a resource and be an advocate to share for others to grow. And it's been a crazy ride, a crazy journey. I've transformed and I went from that shy girl to a confident woman.
Girl, you ain't shy no more. You ain't shy no more. I'll be watching that now.
When I came, yeah. I mean, I think that the shyness was really for me having to get connected with my own identity.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that I really learned at the club, that I actually had a story of my own after listening to Zach and Siobhan and Monica, as I knew her once upon a time, and others at the club sharing their stories. I realized I had a story of my own, and then that's when I discovered my voice, and it's steadily unfolding.
I don't know where you gonna end up. I think you might have owning the whole world. I'll be watching all the moves you be making, girl. You be making moves every day. You come up with every day, like every day you gotta move, or at least twice a month.
You making me blush and smile. You know what? It's because of you. It's because of Miss Estelle. It's because of Miss Norris. You guys told us that we could do it. You know, you put all these examples in front of us. I got a real education when I came to Omega, and that changed me forever. It took the ceiling off of my mind of my circumstances, of my limitations. And even though I go through lots of challenges, as we all do, I still believe I can get there. And what I'm focused on right now, Dr. Marshall, is disciplining myself to really achieve the goals that I have outlined and the visions that I have, not just for me, but for community.
Yeah.
So yeah, you told me I could do it and I believed you.
Cause it's true. And you're doing it. Thank you, Vanita. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey,
So,
Doc.
yeah.
Doc, I gotta shut it down because I gotta get to work in the morning. I'm a couple hours ahead. But I just wanted to say a few things real quick. First, man, just the love that y'all showed us on how to be able to exude your love. And then for us to be able to do that with each other is really what made it so different. Like somebody else talked about, having your peers telling you good information. It's like, you know, your parents tell you the different things and you hear it, but then when you hear it from your peers and you hear from Dr. Marshall, you hear from, you know, Coach, you hear from, you know, just the constant, you have the seeds, and then now you have the fertilization, now you have the watering, now you have the tilling of the soil, and you know, the cultivation just made it you know, just a great environment for the growth. And that's, you know, like, man, it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Like you said, man, like Red said, like, man, and then that charge, that part, that energy, that just, you know, like sunlight, just, you know, helped us grow. And it was, man, like something different than church. I can't say it's better than church, but it's very much the same because of the spiritual connection. It's on that level. It's that way. You know what I'm saying? Life changing for real. Like so many people can say that, like so many more people than who can hear you or who is on this platform right now can say the Omega Boys Club, Street Soldiers, Alive and Free changed my life. Like that's big. And to Miss Norris, I mean to Miss Estelle, I say Miss Norris to say Miss Estelle. Miss Estelle, you remind me of Dave Chappelle's block party when Erykah Badu is performing and she tearing it up. And somebody said to Jill Scott, "Are you nervous to go out there?" And Jill Scott was like, "Have you seen me perform?" like I'm sitting here appreciating Erykah do everything that she do, and Erykah is Erykah, but I'm me. You know what I mean? Like I do what I do. And Miss Estelle, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Miss Norris, like she did all that she did. Like, yeah, that's good, but I'm here. I'm comfortable in my own space to do what I do, and I'm gonna just be me. And I'm, you know, and it's enough of this world for her to be her and me to be me, and we gonna keep on keeping on. And man, that's just the primary example of the grown, of a lot of showing us how to be grown. And that's where we at.
You know, Zach,
Wow.
I always say wonderful words, and so I'm coming to you. I always say the magic is all of you, because Jack and I got the space, you know, we sort of laid down the rules, and there wasn't a lot of rules except ain't gonna be no mess, no guns, none of that. You can bring your attitudes in here, but you know, we're gonna work this out together. And you know, there are times I stood guard outside and Coach would be there, but it was you guys, all of you, that made it happen. Your voices made it happen. I mean, look, we wouldn't be celebrated if y'all didn't come, right? It'd just be me and Jack. This Norris, and then came Mrs. Stella. But you, the fact that you came, I'm so I don't know what we were selling, but you was buying, but you made the magic happen. Saul, good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys. Happy birthday. I love you guys. I hope everyone's well.
Yes. How did you get there? How'd you get here?
I got here because of the Dawn. And
yes,
Dawn got me there. And I came to Omega a couple times, and then I think I had just recently graduated high school, and I knew I had to be there. And it was amazing. I really appreciate all the information y'all gave me, and the love that I needed. And till this day, I'm still doing well. I'm really well. Like the best way I could explain it is that like my family's from Mexico. So if I was raised in Mexico and I had my grandfather and my father raising me, I think they would have gave me the blueprint to navigate in Mexico and how to survive in Mexico. But coming to the United States, everything was brand new to my parents. And when I arrived to Alive and Free, I was right after high school, just trying to understand what college is going to look like and everything. I had good people like Don telling me, you know, go to college and all this good stuff. But it was really at Alive and Free that gave me the tools to navigate, especially in the United States, and get my education and be where I'm at today. So I really owe it to you guys a lot. And I always tell students, young folks, whoever I come across, to come to Alive and Free. And it is no other place like this place.
Some things really stand out when you talk about soul. I mean, I remember Omari Williams. A lot of you guys know Omari. Omari was sitting there one day and, you know, it's funny. We could see, he said he didn't believe, man, I can't see it. I can't see college. I can't see college. I said, so let me be your eyes for you. You know, just little things like that. And he was like, ooh, okay, right? I said, but I can see it. You can't see it, but eventually you gonna see it if you stick with it. And I gotta say, all of you sticking with it, you know, and I guess for me, what people don't understand is that when you guys meet every day, no, we meet one night a week. So we have one night a week, you know, and then college prep came to get this information into you and then have you carry it. But, and I won't say but, both and, we can't live your lives for you. We can give you the information, but we can't live your lives for you. So to hear you 30 years later, 20 years later, 15 years later, 10 years later, you know, currently in school, where's Jaira? She ain't gonna work good. Okay, so that to me is like, it's stuck. Maybe a little bit stuck, but enough stuck that you are alive and free. And Saul, you'll say something, Saul. We love Saul. Go ahead, say something.
What happened to the?
It's Saul.
There he is. So yeah, it's wonderful to see how
I
you
miss you.
because I remember you on the side of the room, sitting over there with your little beanie on. And if you could hide or slide down under the table, you would, but you couldn't for long. And now here you are, such the leader. And I am just so proud of you. And it's so good to see you.
Likewise, I miss you. And it was because of you, Mrs. Stowe, that I found my voice. And it was that college prep project that really that helped me find that voice and be that leader and be who I am today. It was beautiful.
It was always there. We just helped to bring it out.
It's in there.
Shantae, I gotta tell a story about you. Shantae, your kids love you. Go on, get.
Yeah, they do, Doc.
You said I got my stuff on from the parade today, right?
Yeah.
And you went up there to get the award, and your kids followed you up on stage. You had to pick them up just to get the award, and your husband came up. I said, "You a good mama. Them kids love you. What you do, them kids, girl?"
Yeah, my babies love me. I love them. I'm tired and they keep me busy. I am so tired, but yeah, I love my babies. They're my heart. They're my heart, Doc. And so is my husband.
He was right there. And now I thought that was the coolest thing of all.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, y'all, like I'm trying to get my award.
It was a scholarship award.
Yes, Doc. And so you always seem to appear when I'm, for major life events. And, that's something I'm really thankful for, and I feel like because I went through Omega, that's happening. Mrs. Stell too. When I was pregnant with my second daughter, Mrs. Stell, I don't know if you remember this, but I ran into you at the Target in San Bruno.
I remember.
And I was at that time, I mean, just really still trying to get my grip with motherhood. And I ran into you, and it's just always, hearing those words of encouragement, the way you encouraged me, and gave me advice on motherhood and how to carry myself and how to keep myself, healthy in mind, and in spirit. It's just, really, those are things I've carried with me this entire time.
Wow.
No,
Yeah,
thanks,
I
yeah.
remember running into you, and I remember one time running into you, you weren't trying to run into me. You're like, oh man.
Do we get to hear that story? No.
Well, no, I'm just saying. that she was always surprised when I know I haven't been to Omega. Anyway, but
Oh,
no,
those stories.
Shantae,
Yeah.
it's always wonderful to see the young lady that you become,
Yeah.
the mother, the wife. You are you continue to grow and amaze me. And of course, your kids are going to be following you right behind you. And your husband too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Family. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
Shante, I've said this before when I got into I got into this because a lot of families were in disarray, right?
Yeah.
So when I see you and that family, I was like, man, it's array, I mean, and back then, and they know the ones who were the cracker. I mean, it's a mess. It was a mess. I mean, families was a mess. Reggie, I mean, everything was just a mess. And to see that family was like, it's precious. It's precious. So
Thank you. No, yeah. And that's something, coming through Omega, that's always been something I wanted for myself, because I got here through family. My uncle brought me to Omega. And it was just that feeling. I came for the scholarship, but I stayed for family. I stayed for love. I stayed for that feeling that I get when I walk in the club and I see all these Black and brown brothers and sisters that want to do something with their lives and break, just generational curses.
yeah.
When I looked up on the wall and saw all the Black scholars with their graduation caps on, I actually what really got me was Miss Eliva Hughes. I know she's married and her last name is, I saw her picture and I said, oh my gosh, that's my teacher. She was my teacher when I went to Martin Luther King Jr. Middle school.
Wow.
Okay. And seeing her image up there just really did it for me. Like, this was my sign. I'm supposed to be here. And I'm going to be one of those graduates on that wall.
Push up on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's just really the life lessons that I carry with me even now in my marriage. I go over my coachisms when, we ain't, when we funkin'. And then also raising my children, I want to be an example to them. I want to be the correct example to them. And I knew that I wanted them, well, before I had them, I knew that if I ever became a mother, I wanted them to have both parents in the home. Yeah. And I wanted to love them, properly, so they wouldn't be, out in the street or whatever happens when a parent is not present or whatever have you.
It all starts in the home.
It's daily. It's a daily thing for me.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah. Thank you, honey.
You did it.
Thank you.
You did it and you're doing it. Keep it up, baby.
And we're going to be here all the way.
Keep it up.
We're waiting for yours to come.
Happy birthday.
Send them to us when they're ready. Jaira, you the youngest of the crew. I had to get you to represent. You the current collegian right now. You're at the University of where?
Chicago.
And tell everybody you on a what?
Full ride scholarship.
Ride scholarship at the University of Chicago. The girl is brilliant. And I got to say, Jaira's class is special because that was the first class that never met in person. Can you believe that, Reggie? And Saul and Ayende and Charles. This was the pandemic class.
The pandemic
virtual
class.
class. And Jaira, how did you, go ahead, just how you doing? How'd you get to, and how you doing with it?
Well, happy birthday, Omega. How did I get to Omega? Well, I was already in well, my brother was in Omega previously, and he did not finish through the program. So my mom was already well acquainted with Dr. Marshall. And then I came from a program called 100% College Prep that's kind of like partnered with Omega. And then from there, I came into Zoom on the first day, and I think Jack was praying. When I came onto the Zoom, he was praying, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. And then they was like, they went on a break, so then they was just like, stay on the Zoom. It's okay. And then surprisingly, like I found a family. I love my cohort. They're all beautiful, Black, amazing. My peers are just beyond intelligent and what I aspire to be like. So I'm just glad to be a part of this community, have Dr. Marshall and Miss Estelle always. And I definitely resonate with what all you guys said. Definitely found my voice, and found the courage to speak about things that I felt like I had to hold in for a very long time. And I just feel like that's the reason that I'm still thriving right now today in Chicago, in a different environment, in a different area, but still alive and free.
Now you doing something special. The more you know, the more you owe. You were working with what, kids in Chicago? What are you doing with them kids? What
Yeah, so I work with a group of high school students on the south side of Chicago. I work under the University of Chicago's Office of Civic Engagement. The Office of Civic Engagement was created by Michelle Obama at the university. And under the Office of Civic Engagement, what they do is they have these nonprofit organizations. Some are federally funded and some are funded by the university. And we basically work with high school students to prepare them for college. So basically doing what Omega and 100% and all these other programs did for me, I give back to students on the south side of Chicago.
And you tell me they love you.
Yeah, one of my students is a Questbridge scholar. She got accepted to Yale. So she has a full scholarship to Yale. Another one of my students, he got accepted to USC, and we're waiting for some more applications. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Wonderful.
The more you know, the more you owe. Go on, put it out there, girl. In another whole nother place. We're gonna get to the big place. I'm saving him for last. The pilot. Look at him. You see, look at him, look at him, look at him, look at it. What's up? Well, what's your rank, man? You got a rank? What's your rank?
I do. I just got promoted actually this past December. So I'm a first lieutenant now, and then I'll make captain next year. So I'm trying to work my way up there.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Sakes.
Remember the day he came?
Yes, bless God. Oh my goodness sake.
You gotta say something, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. How's everybody doing? My name is Allende Chisholm. My first time coming in. I came through. It was a family friend of my parents that I think their son had went through. One of my mom's good friends. One of her kids had gone through the program. And so I was at the time in high school, and I think it was around either like sophomore or junior year. And my parents thought it would be a good program for me to go through, getting prepared for college, and then, becoming a young adult, that it would help give me good guidance and also prepare me for the next steps in life. So I remember the first time I went in, I think it was with my dad. And just like any new environment, you're kind of shy. There was the room was packed out that night too, because I think when I came, it was for the family meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was packed out. Everybody was in there. And I was just like, oh man, I walked in, it looked like everybody was looking at me. I was looking at everybody, you didn't know anybody. But I sat down, and one of the things I really remember was Miss Estelle didn't give people passes. Like you couldn't be there and not contribute. Couldn't have your hood on. And I really grew to appreciate that because it kind of forces you to always put yourself out there, whether you're comfortable or not, because you have a story to tell, and that can not only help you through your own process, but help other people. And I thought it was a beautiful thing. And a lot of people mention love and family, and I think that's just a common theme that describes the program that well because truly that's what it is. And I think that's what draws people in and actually keeps them there. I had a stint too where I think I was in sports and stuff, and I hadn't been coming consistently. And I used to, because I lived up the street in Hunters Point, so the T train used to run right by the stop that's next to Omega. And one time I was coming through, and I wasn't even thinking about it. It was a Tuesday night, and someone told me to get off the train, and it was a stop for Omega, and I just walked in, and then I had been consistent ever since. Joined the college prep program, and it really, I think, helped me kind of analyze my life and how I interact. And I remember one of the biggest things was, what is the message for you? Like,
Yeah, what's the message?
that was one of the biggest things I remember. Like, whether we were watching movies, reading articles, various things, there's always a message. And now I look at everything that way, whether it's something good that happens, whether it's something bad that happens, like there's something for me to get out of this and something for me to grow from. And I remember going through with the college prep class and just you just bond so well with these different people. And a lot of people I still keep in touch today. Saw Saul in there. It was good to see him. And it's just crazy, like looking back, seeing like the younger generation of Omegas coming through, hearing from the older generations. And it's just like, wow, I'm a part of a legacy of greatness and excellence. And that's truly just a high honor for me. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Allende, you going off of Tuskegee?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Blind got your pilot. Man, you look, I don't even want, I can't even look. Man, yeah. I've never seen a family more proud of what was that graduation party they gave you? It was
yeah, they did do that. I was like, at the time I was kind of like, you don't have to do that. Like that's but I've been well supported. And that's the other thing is like, just like with my own family and my Omega family, like the support in the community is really what I think got me through. And so it's not a solo effort because I didn't get here by myself and I don't progress by myself either. So just recognizing that and understanding like where your strength and where your backbone comes from, I think has helped me get far. And so in turn, I try to do the same thing for other people.
You listened when it was hard to hear.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
did it over when it wasn't easy. You stood and you were quiet when you wanted to talk. You paid attention. You did the work. You took the journey. Even when it was uncomfortable, you stayed. You hung, you stayed with it. You persisted. You never gave up. You never stopped believing. Even when nobody else was believing, when they looked at you and thought you were like, what? You wanted to be how many Black pilots do you know? You went,
Very few.
even when the support looked questionable, was uncomfortable, you stayed, you stood, you sat, you were quiet, you used your voice, you did the work when it wasn't easy. And you stood there when they pinned you, but in front of the flag.
That was hella cool.
When they, you know what? You did the work.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Stell. You're giving me chills over here.
You gave your family something to be proud of.
and your family, not just your mother and your father. We're talking about Miss Estelle, Dr. Marshall, the Omegas who didn't know who you were, who heard your story. When you walked in the room and we said, and this is, listen, you continue to make us proud.
Thank you.
And when you stand, you just stand taller and taller, baby. But that's not just for Allende. That's for every single one of you.
Yeah.
You've done it and you continue to do it. And I tell you what, you just bring tears to my eyes. It's like, oh my goodness sakes. Oh my goodness sakes. What a blessing it is for me to be able to sit here and listen to you tell your story and the other side of the journey, the other side of the classroom.
Yes, ma'am.
When I am standing there talking crazy, and every one of you have heard me talk crazy, except Charles. Charles hasn't heard that crazy talk. Charles, you the lucky one.
He's been hanging on for 2 hours.
Bless your heart. Thank you.
I want to wrap it up with him because where he is right now is because of you. Where he is right now, every word that's going to come out of his mouth is because of all of you right here on the call right now, those who were here earlier had to leave, and all the Omegas that have ever been. It's because of you. So all the way from Cape Town, South Africa, Llewellyn Sice. Thank you, my brother.
That's an applause. We
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody, and happy birthday. I don't have the angelic voice like Mrs. Stahl, but I want to sing Niamnandi Kuwe, Miamnandi Kuwe, Niamnandi Ku Omega, Miamnandi Kuwe. Happy birthday, alive and free. I won't win the Grammy for that, but I am so blessed because of all of you. And I've been sitting and listening to all of you just sharing your story. And my story started in 2009 as director of the YMCA. I was fortunate to visit Seattle YMCA. And I got introduced to the Life and Free program by Eleuthera. And 2003 will be 20 years this year, Doc, that I walked into the Omega Boys Club. And I remember walking in and looking at all the people and saying and thinking, you know, they look like me. I might be 10,000 miles from home, but the people I saw in that room looked like me. If they didn't open their mouth, I would have thought they were my family members. And that's the reality about South Africa and Cape Town. If you've never visited, I want to encourage you to visit South Africa. And when I started listening to the stories of that I heard during the training, and I thought that I went to the training because I wanted to help young people in South Africa. But at first few hours, I realized it wasn't for the young people, it was for myself. And although I was doing tremendous work with young people, working at schools and juvenile detention centers, I realized that I could have done so much more if I had the opportunity to do the Life and Free training first. So although I thought it was for me, for my students, I realized it was for me. And it just changed and transformed my life. You know, as a born again Christian, being very spiritually strong, the Life in Free training I took in the summer of 2023 was a spiritual awakening for me, and it transformed my life. And when I came back, I immediately saw, the illness, the sickness within our young people. But now I knew that I had the tools and the ability to transform my society. So thank you, Dr. Marshall. It put me on a journey of really soul searching, transforming my life first, and then being able to help my community as well. But not only that, it also transformed my family as well, because I looked at my family differently. I looked at my children differently. They're starting to hear all about the coachism. And today, I've got a 24-year-old IT technician and a 22-year-old. He's in fact studying in Chicago, Jaira, not far from you. He's at National Louis University. And I am so fortunate and blessed to have firstly been introduced to the program, but also to have met all the wonderful people and all the stories you've said. And I take to heart everything that you have said. And it not only inspires me, but it inspires me to help, my community as well. I am blessed today because of the Life and Free movement. My life has been transformed, and I have a different view of, the United States now. Growing up in a community where the biggest gang was called the Americans. The second biggest gang was called the Cisco Yaquis. The third biggest gang, was called the Chicago, where our young people idolized the American society in a wrong way. And I was able to come back and change that society. And although I look at the young people that I've changed, the Dion's, Dr. Marshall, the Venus, the Nyamekas, young people who's now making a mark in society as well, and also changing the community as well. So I wasn't able to, I wasn't young to but being part of the actual training, but as an adult, it was the right time for me to get involved with the program. So happy birthday to the Alive and Free movement, and thank you, Dr. Marshall, for making me part of this program.
Charles, you got us to Cape Town. Jonte, you got us to Cape Town. Jaira, you got us to Cape Town. All the way to Africa. Dana, you got us to Cape Town. Allende, you got us to Cape Town. Kayla,
That's right.
you got us to Cape Town. Austin, who popped out, and I got to give you a chance to talk, got us to Cape Town. So you gave us the time. And because when I go there, it's you who I talk about.
That's right.
They can't be taking my word for it. I'll be talking about y'all. Sometimes I show you documentaries, I show you pictures that you got. Look, it don't got me. I'm just a vessel. And everything I talk about, I learned from you. You helped us develop this prescription that I've able, you got us there. So I have to, he's right, thanking you. And that's, I could have had folks on, but that's the farthest away I could think is Cape Town, South Africa. And by the way, if you ever go over there, Llewellyn will hook you up. Austin, you don't want to have a chance to talk because you dipped out on me.
No, I mean, my bad, Doc. I was here. I hadn't realized that I forgot to turn my cam back on, but I've been here the whole time.
Your turn to speak, sir, before we wrap this up.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I remember when I first came to Omega, I had heard about Omega through Lulu Matute and Gina. I was trying to get active on campus, at City College in San Francisco. And they was like, oh, you got to check out this program, Alive and Free, check it out. And I was like, oh, okay, let me check it out. And so, yeah, I came to check y'all out. And originally, I came, just to see what was going on, but I really stayed because I really felt like, like everybody became a family to me. And like, that's one of the coachisms, we're not all related, but we are all family. And I always felt like that every time I came into Alive and Free. And just hearing everybody tonight just made me feel it like, I heard a few people say it like very spiritual. Every time I come around to Alive and Free, like the building, if I come in, if I tune into the radio station, there's like this spiritual connection that I feel. It kind of is like a grounding force, if you will, kind of just brings you back to, the time, it brings me back at least to the time when I was there. And so I'm glad to see, everybody like Saul and Allende, I haven't seen them in a while, so it's good to see y'all. But yeah, most definitely happy birthday, 36 years, that's amazing. That really is amazing. And it's a testament, to the amazing things that you do and the way that you shape young people's lives. So thank you, thank you for shaping all of our lives. Thank you for shaping my life in a very positive way.
And I'm going to say thank you, all of you, the ones on the screen, the ones not here, for trusting us with your lives. You didn't have to, we were strangers. And I don't know what it was that we said or did, but it allowed you to put your trust in us and tell us in many ways some secrets, innermost things you hadn't told anybody, you know, and then do it in front of the group and share with each other. So I've always said that just been remarkable for you to trust us, me, Jack, Miss Norris, Lady Estelle, Mr. Mitra, anybody that, you know, would sit there, and people who would come in and just hear it. They couldn't believe what they saw, and that because of you, we were able to do, because you did that, we're able to just, I mean, look, when I got on the radio, it was easy. I was just saying what we said at the club. I still do. All the stuff, all the things I say on KMEL is all the things I was saying right there. And when I go overseas, when I go to Cape Town, when I've been to, oh God, Haiti and Botswana and Montreal, and that's all I do. So, you know, Lady Estelle, take her voice with me. And it's just been amazing. It's been an amazing 36 years. Seeing you have your families and your kids. Charles, you are just amazing dad. You are like, you're a dad. Steroids, dad.
Well, you know, I had to make up when I was overseas fighting, so you know.
You guys, this is something. When Charles went over to when he was in Iraq, some of you know, some of you don't. He would call Shante, Jaira, Ayende, and Austin, and all of you, and he would call the club from Iraq. When was in the battlefield. He would call during the family, and we would pray for him that he would get home. And people couldn't believe it, but he's calling from Iraq. I said, yeah, we put him up, you know, we had a phone, a little phone, and he made it home, you know. And some of the things that happen around here, I guess they don't count as, people wouldn't call me. I call this a miracle because, like I said, we didn't have no money. We've been able to get you all through school. So yeah, just thank you. Happy birthday. You know, you never know what tomorrow's gonna be like. So you got to take these times to, you know, these special occasions to say, you know, say to the ancestors. For me, it's the ancestors for allowing this to be. Lady E, your turn. You can wrap it up.
I remember when my daughter was in the hospital giving birth, and the doctor came in and said, it doesn't look like it's going the way you want it. And, you know, there's a time when there's nothing a mother can do. And I looked at her and there was nothing I could do except pray. But, you know, that sometimes is not enough when mother's praying. And what I saw her do was turn her face away from all of us. And she looked at the wall and she began to pray. And I'm going to tell you what I knew. I knew that what she was taught was not in vain. When we see what you've done and what you're doing with your lives and the impact that you're having on other people's lives, it lets us know that what we have done has not been in vain. I'm going to ask that you just take a minute. We don't have a minute, a few seconds, and go inside, because Dr. Marshall likes for me to wrap up, and I'm going to give this to you. So just kind of start breathing, because each of you are going to either say, remember, always remember, never forget. The message that's in you that you would pass on. It's like turning your face to the young people and giving to them who are listening what was given to you in a never forget, always remember. When you don't remember, remember. Okay? And I'm going to start with the veteran on the, we're gonna start with the oldest and move on down to the baby. Baby, you know who you are. We'll start with Llewellyn, then Charles, Shante. No. Llewellyn, Charles, that's right. Taylor, then Shante, Ayende, Dana, Austin, Saul, and Jaira. Do you have your order? All right. Catch your breath. Catch your breath. Llewellyn, going to start with you. What would you share? Remember, never forget. Llewellyn, what would you say? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, it's your turn to share. The message that you would give to the listeners. And it's going to start with remember or never forget.
Okay.
Your turn now.
Never forget where you come from, because where you come from will determine where you're going.
Nice.
Get your breath. Charles.
My thing would be always stay grounded, because when the winds of change come, it'll just be a breeze.
Kayla. Or is it, no, it's Kayla. Your turn, Kayla.
All right. Never forget that you are stronger than you think you are.
Okay. Get your breath. Shantae.
Remember that no one comes here without a purpose.
Your breath. Dana.
Remember, patience creates great things.
Breathe that in. Austin.
Remember, it's never too late to do what you were put on this earth to do. Gifts will always make room for you.
Was it Ayende or Saul? Saul.
Never forget, respect comes from within. Always remember to execute your plan.
Catch your breath. Ayende.
Remember that you were designed specifically and placed on this earth for a purpose, and never forget that you are not defined by your mistakes.
All right. Let's breathe all of these in. And Jaira.
Always remember that there is nothing more valuable than your life.
And I would share with you to never forget that you are loved. We believe in you. We love you. And we celebrate everything about you.
Thank you for spending his 36th birthday with us. Love y'all. Talk to you soon. You know that. You know I'm gonna text you.
Love you guys.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you,
birthday.
I'll add you, Doc, later yourself.
Happy birthday.
Hey, thank you. Good night.